Hey guys, and welcome back. So let's take a look and see what we have in Houdini 16.5 in terms of feature related to Voronoi fracturing or fracturing the geometry, as well as constraint creation. And these are the primary things for the destruction workflow. So I'm going to create geo. Okay. And we're going to create a Voronoi fracture node. So this is again Houdini 16.5, and this is how the Voronoi node looks like. You see, we have a lot of features, and I'm going to scatter a couple of points here just to get some fracturing going. Okay, and we get the Voronoi thing working. Now with this, there's the feature to add interior faces that controls the resolution. We can add noise inside, but as you can see, it's not adding anything to the edge of the surface. It's only doing interior details, so this is not ideal for destruction. We actually want more details on the edge, which is what we call edge displacement, or like high-res fracturing. And then we have options to specify the group names for the inside and outside. We can transfer attributes from the Voronoi cells back into the geometry, and we can inherit data from the points as well. So, and then we have a feature to cluster, and this visualized pieces as well is included in the node. So we can cluster, which will group certain things together, certain pieces together, and this helps to break up the look of the Voronoi to get rid of this uniform pattern. So this is the main node in Houdini 16.5, and then we also have multiple nodes for the fracture for the Boolean. So we have Boolean, the Boolean node, which is new in Houdini 16.5, and then we have all these guys, which is basically this node but setting these different modes. So these guys are actually not different nodes; it's just the same node, but this is set to shatter, for example. So if we wanted to use the Boolean technique and to fracture this, we need to provide cutting planes for this. So I'm going to copy the same points here, and I'm going to create a grid, and I'm going to set it to 2 by 2, and then I'm going to copy this grid to those points. Okay, now they're all pointing in the same direction, so I'm going to add some randomization. I'm going to use the normal, which will be used to randomize this, and I'm going to say it's a direction, and let's plug this in. And now we have fracturing, but as you can see, some of the planes are not cutting all the way through, so we have to increase the size of the planes to make sure they cover the entire geometry. And now we're getting some interesting fracturing. Let me change this to flat shaded with wire. So that's our fracturing. And then let's see, and then we can add resolution to this. So I'm going to change the grid to have 10 by 10, and I'm going to add some noise to it. Okay, something like that. And let's take a look, and now we have more interesting fracture going. And if we use the exploded view, we should be able to get a view of what these pieces looks like. So this is something we can do already in Houdini 16.5, but I wanted to point out how the Voronoi fracture node, and then because it changed in Houdini 17, and then for the constraints, we have to use a connect adjacent node to create the glue or the constraint network between the pieces. So if I take these guys and say adjacent pieces from surface, this is a separate node that we have to use to get the the network connected. Okay, so this is Houdini 16.5 workflow. Basically, you use the Voronoi or this workflow to fracture the geometry, and then you use a connect adjacent node to create the constraint or any other method. And this node is based on the Voronoi fracture algorithm, which is different than the Boolean. In Houdini 17, we're gonna see a lot of changes for this, and I'm gonna talk about that workflow in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.